Hey, what's going on guys, WingsOfEnd here and welcome back to another Redstone tutorial, and today guys I'm gonna be showing you how to make this really cool and simple interlocking 3x3 door in Minecraft Bedrock edition. So if you guys are excited for that, make sure to drop a like down below and subscribe if you're new, and without further ado, let's get right into today's video. Some of you may recognize the door opening from the previous door that I made, but that door was 2x3 and it used double piston extenders. As you can see, this door is a 3x3 and yes, we're gonna be using 3 triple piston extenders to actually make this door. And I think this effect looks a lot better on a 3x3 door, better than the actual 2x3 door that we made previously, and I really like this door. The redstone for this is actually incredibly simple, even though it may look a little bit complicated, because the redstone for the triple piston extender is a little bit bulky. I made this design, I'm not really sure if there was a better and easier design. If there is, just use that, but this is the design that I made like long time ago for my redstone bridge that I made, and I actually have a separate video for the triple piston extender. But you can see it's fairly similar to the double piston extender. We are just using a couple more of the repeaters because we have additional little sticky piston, and of course we have one on this side for the middle that uses honey blocks, and we have two of them with the slime blocks right on top of each other. Again, this may look a little bit complicated, but it's actually incredibly simple, and I'm going to show you how to make it right now. So the blocks we're going to need for this are some block of our choice for the redstone and for the door. We're going to need some immovable blocks. In my case it's going to be obsidian. You can use glazed terracotta, melons, pumpkins, even leaves. We're going to need some sticky pistons, specifically 9 of them. We're going to need 6 of the slime blocks and 3 of the honey blocks. We're going to need some redstone repeaters, 1 lever to activate our door. We're going to need 1 slab and 3 of the observers. First thing we're going to do is basically build 3 blocks upwards, and we're going to put in our first triple piston extender. We're going to have 3 of the sticky pistons right on top of each other. Then we're going to go behind the actual sticky pistons, and this is where we need to create a 4x6 platform, starting 1 block behind the actual sticky piston. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 and 4. You can see right over here we have 4 of the blocks, and we're going to go 6 blocks right there. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. We can basically fill this in. This is basically where all of the redstone is going to go, and that 1 block behind the first sticky piston is really important. We're going to have a block right there, and this is where we're going to start adding all of our repeaters and the delay. For the first sticky piston, we're going to be powering the block right behind it with 2 of the repeaters on max tick delay. Then for this sticky piston, we're going to have 1 repeater on max tick delay. After we finish this triple piston extender, I'm going to let you guys take a screenshot, because sometimes you can actually forget the amount of the repeaters that you need. But basically we're going to have 2 of them going into the block behind the first sticky piston, 1 repeater going into the first sticky piston. Then for the second one we're going to have 3 repeaters on max tick delay. Over here for the third one it's a bit interesting, because we need to have 1 repeater on max tick delay. And we also need another additional repeater, and this triple piston extender is not going to work without it, and we are not going to click and add any of the delay. And finally we need to add 2 more of the repeaters on max tick delay. So basically every single one of them is on max tick delay except this one right here. For the third sticky piston we only need 1 repeater on max tick delay and another repeater just as it is. And then we are basically going to connect every single one of them using a little bit of the redstone over here. Just go ahead, go around, and of course we're going to need additional redstone right there, since the third sticky piston is going to get in this position and we actually need to activate it. There is one more thing that we need to do before we actually call the triple piston extender done. Basically right now we're going to have a triple piston extension, but we're not going to get the triple piston retraction, and this is where our one observer comes into place. We're basically going to be detecting the second sticky piston. So we're going to have an observer with the face pointing towards the second sticky piston, and basically we're going to need a little bit of the blocks of our choice to lead the redstone from the observer into the third one, so that way it can actually finish the little retraction. You can take a little screenshot so you don't have to memorize how many repeaters we're going to need, and basically remember that all of them are on max tick delay except this guy right over here for the third sticky piston. For the third sticky piston we have 1 repeater on max tick delay and another repeater without of any additional delay. If we just add the lever, we should see that we're going to get the triple piston extension, and if we click it again we're going to get the triple piston retraction. The retraction would be possible without this observer and the redstone, because the last sticky piston wouldn't actually be able to retract the block. You can see it right here. Again, we're going to get the triple piston extension, but when it comes to triple piston retraction, the sticky piston is not going to do it without the help with the observer, but we are basically done with the first triple piston extender. What we need to do is basically grab 3 of the slime blocks or 3 of the honey blocks. Basically, I think the slime blocks is a little bit easier to get, so we're going to start with the slime blocks. This is the first layer of the door. Then we're going to have the honey blocks and again the slime blocks on top of it. So you can see the slime blocks are actually going to be retracting to the left side, and the honey blocks are going to retract to the right, and it's going to get a really nice interlocking effect. But basically we're going to finish the actual triple piston extenders. Basically we're going to start with the honey blocks, so go ahead and build 7 blocks out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and go ahead and destroy the first 6. Since we're dealing with triple piston extenders, we need to make sure that we're going to have a 3 block gap between the actual sticky piston and the honey blocks or the slime blocks that we're using. And then we're basically going to copy the exact same redstone we did for the first side to the other one. And we're going to add that 4x6 area. Go ahead and build 1, 2, 3 and 4, and we're going to need to add 5 blocks over here. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So just go ahead and basically finish this scene. Just go ahead and add all of the blocks so we can actually place in the redstone. What we're going to do is start with 2 repeaters on max sticky delay going into the block behind the first sticky piston. Click them all 3 times. Then we're going to have 1 on max sticky delay. For the second sticky piston, we're going to have 3 repeaters on max stick delay. And for the final one, again, this is where we're going to have 1 repeater on max stick delay and another one without of any delay. And we're going to need 2 more of the repeaters over here on max stick delay again. We are just going to grab ourselves the redstone and basically have the redstone connecting every single one of the repeaters that's connecting to the sticky pistons. And the last thing we need to do is add our little observer. Again, we're going to be detecting the second sticky piston, so you have the observer face pointing towards it. And then we're basically going to make a little platform over here for the redstone to sit on. So just go ahead and do something like this, and we're basically done for the second one. Last thing we need to do is basically connect the triple piston extender that goes for the top layer right above this one. We can just go ahead and give this one a try. To make sure that everything is working properly, we have the triple piston extension and we should get the triple piston retraction and everything is working fine. Then we are just going to build the 2 blocks over here from this block, and then we're going to add additional little triple piston extender. We're basically going to do this one last time, making that little platform over here just kind of following the grid that we have at the bottom. So just go ahead and add all of the blocks going to the right over here again, making that 4x6 platform. So just go ahead and do something like that. We need 1 more layer and we need to put in the redstone one last time. Again, it's going to be the same one. So go ahead, you have 2 of the repeaters on max stick delay going into the block behind the sticky piston. You have 1 over here for the first one and 3 for the second one. And whoops, we are falling. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3. And over here again for the final one, we're going to need 1 repeater on max stick delay and a repeater without of any additional delay. And we're going to add 2 more repeaters over here in the front and just grab ourselves the redstone and basically connecting going all the way around. And then basically we're going to have a little tunnel going from the actual door, and then we're going to connect every single one of these triple piston extenders. So what we're going to do is grab ourselves some of the immovable blocks. Again, I'm going to be using obsidian, and we're going to place it on the bottom and the top part of the door. Making sure that we're not going to place any of the immovable blocks on the sides, because this is like a sliding door. Then we're going to add additional layer of the obsidian right over here. Some of these blocks are basically for looks. These slime blocks are not going to be touching this layer over here. I just kind of like to actually complete this little circle around. Well, it's basically more of a square, but I just kind of like to call it a circle because we're just kind of going around the 4th door. And then we're basically going to grab ourselves some block for choice and basically lead the tunnel to basically cover up all of the redstone. So we're just going to do something like this, and of course this is where blocks of your choice come in its place. I like to use the light blue concrete, but you can use any block that you want. We're just going to finish this, and that's going to give us an idea of where and where can't we actually place the redstone. So now that we have this little tunnel complete, it's time to actually connect all of the triple piston extenders. We're basically going to be connecting this one to this block right there. So we're basically going to create a little staircase using some block for choice. This is where we're going to lead the redstone down. Basically, it's going to go all the way to the two of the triple piston extenders that we have on this side. And basically, we're also going to be connecting it to this block right there. So we're just going to make a little staircase. You're going to notice that this staircase is going to be a little bit smaller because this one is in a block above and it's on another layer. So basically, we're going to bring the redstone around and basically connect it to the bottom triple piston extender that we have. And over here is where our one slab comes into place. Basically, what we're going to do is have a slab over here, and then we're basically going to have another block right here, basically coming out of this little redstone, so we can basically carry it to the top without any of the troubles, and we should be done. Basically, last thing we're going to do is have a couple of the repeaters to basically extend the signal and not for any delay, because you can see we have a lot of the redstone to cover. So what we're going to do is basically have a repeater going into our little staircases that we made just to kinda extend the signal to make sure that it's going to reach all the way. And over here you can see this is going to be the back, and this is where we're actually going to be opening the door from there. So we're basically going to have another repeater right there in the middle, and just again to extend the signal to make sure that everything is going to reach, and then we can decide where we actually want to have our lever. Let's just go ahead and test this out. If you actually press the lever, you're going to see that everything is going to get into place. If we click it again, we should get that triple piston retraction and everything should hopefully work. You can see the top layer didn't actually work, so let's see what is the problem. If some of you guys spotted the mistake I made before me, hopefully you didn't facepalm yourself too hard. You can see I forgot to actually add the observer over here for the triple piston retraction. So basically again we're going to have an observer pointing with the face towards the second sticky piston. We're basically going to place the block of choice on top of the redstone for the previous one and basically wrap that around, and now everything should hopefully work. We should see that we got a nice interlocking effect, and if we click it again, every single one of them are actually going to retract, and basically only thing that's left is to finish up the door over here, add a block of choice for the actual door, and cover up the redstone in front. You can see when we actually add our outline, you are going to see that some redstone is actually in the way, so we can't just bring the wall over here. We basically need to go one block out. So we're basically going to have one block over here and then cover up the actual redstone right there. And this is going to give a bit of a weird look, but honestly it's not really that big of a deal. I think it would work in a lot of the bases. Just one block over here for the door is not really a big deal. All we have to do is basically decide where we want to have our lever, and we can basically bring a block for choice with the redstone on top of it. That way we can actually have the lever on the top layer over here where we actually walk. You can see that the door is going to close and it's going to open, and I really like this little effect of the interlocking door. I think that looks really nice. When we actually open the door, you're going to see that we have a couple of the blocks missing. Basically, where this line block are going to be touching the actual blocks, we're going to need some immovable blocks right there. So we're basically going to do something like this. And over here, to actually make the door look a tiny bit better, since these line blocks are actually not going to be touching these blocks, I'm going to be using the same block that I'm using for the actual door. Same over here for the floor, we're just going to replace that with the iron blocks. And since the honey blocks or the slime blocks are not going to be touching it, we shouldn't have any problems. Only block that is going to be touching is the actual blocks for the door. So you are going to see that we have again the closing, everything is working fine, and we have the opening, and this looks really nice. I think this door is absolutely amazing, and hopefully you guys are going to like it, and we are falling again. But yeah guys, that's pretty much all there is for this video. So if you guys have enjoyed it, make sure to drop a like down below and subscribe if you're new. If you think any of your friends would enjoy this type of content, make sure to share with them. But as always, I really hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.